The Christmas season is upon us, so we've come here to the fields outside Bethlehem where Jesus was born. Bethlehem was known for two things. It was the house of bread. There was a wheat and barley harvest in the winter and spring from these fields that would help feed the people of Jerusalem just to the north. And it was also where the sheep were raised for temple sacrifices in Jerusalem. And it was to shepherds that were abiding with their flocks at night out in the fields that the multitude of angels came and announced the birth of the Son of God. And they said, "This shall be a sign to you. You're going to find him in the city of David, wrapped in swaddling cloth and lying in a manger." This was a message understood by those shepherds and those who first heard this story, because the sheep for sacrifice were born in those same areas, wrapped in cloth to dry them off at birth, and laid in the manger and fed from there when they were little. So the message is Jesus was born to die as a sacrifice lamb for the sins of the world. Now the prophet Micah had spoken about Bethlehem being the place of the birth of the Messiah. Micah chapter 5 verse 2, "But you, Bethlehem Ephratah, though you are little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of you shall come forth to me the one to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth are from old, from everlasting." This same prophet in Micah chapter 4, which is all about the future glory of Jerusalem, it also speaks of the tower of the flock, verse 8, "And you, tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, to you shall it come, even the former dominion shall come, the kingdom of the daughter of Judah." The tower of the flock, referenced here in Micah, referred to a certain stone tower that watched over these fields where the sheep were raised only in this area for the sacrifices at the temple in Jerusalem. So even the prophet Micah speaking about, again, where Jesus was be born and the whole mystery of him being born in the same place where the sacrificial lambs were born. Now, the Gospel of Matthew also talks about wise men from the east who came to find this child who's born King of the Jews, following his star to Jerusalem. And they go to King Herod, this rival claimant to the throne of the house of David, and said, "We want to see where this child who's born King of the Jews, we've seen his star and followed it." And Herod is jealous and orders the killing of all the innocents in Bethlehem. This is a part of the Christmas story we don't always like to think about, but it shows us there was a spiritual battle around the first coming of Jesus. John the Apostle in Revelation chapter 12 talks about how there was a dragon in heaven who came against the woman with the sun and moon and 12 stars around her head, a representation of Israel, who was giving birth to a man-child who would rule the nations with a rod of iron. This is about Jesus, the Messiah, and how there was a spiritual battle. The dragon was ready to devour the child as soon as it was born, but it was caught up to heaven. But the dragon continued to persecute the woman. And as we go into Christmas this year, we need to remember there is a spiritual battle as well over the second coming of Jesus. We've seen it over the past 2 years of conflict. We've seen it in all the anti-Semitic marches against the Jewish people worldwide. And we as Christians this Christmas season also need to be praying for God's purpose to prevail in this day as amid the darkness, the darkening world, as we get closer to the second coming of the Lord, we know that light will break forth. Even the brightness of his appearing will destroy his enemies, but we need to stand against them today. So we see in the message of the shepherds here in the fields of Bethlehem and the wise men from the east, that glorious purpose of the coming Son of God, who came first to pay the price for sin, but is coming again to rule the world in righteousness and peace. So God bless you from the shepherd's field in Bethlehem and from Jerusalem.